be done.
Y'all see that name on the board? Do you know what time it is? Welcome to the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. This is Forever Heritage Hip Hop, representing my team today in free agency, letting go of one of our best players ever. But today is not about that. Today is about part 2 of an outstanding conversation that led to some clashing of the minds and some agreeing to the fact that hip hop and hip hop culture is going through some BS right now, and we got to get it right. Before we get into the conversation, make sure you hit the like button. Come in here prepared to hit that like button because we have to hit the algorithm. If we don't hit the algorithm, YouTube doesn't let people know that we're there. Instagram doesn't know that we're there. And Facebook doesn't know that we're there. So please, do your best to hit the algorithm and let everybody know that we live. Share this with everybody. Let them know we came here to talk and represent hip-hop culture. Today's conversation, like I said, is part 2 of a conversation I had with one of the most gifted and prolific producers that has made some beats that qualify as some of hip-hop's known greatness. And for lack of better words, this man has become a legend to a lot of people who have heard his work. See, real production is not just a beat that makes you nod your head. It's something that could take you somewhere outside of your talent. And his production has a big orchestral and big movie sound. If you can rhyme over his beats, not only are you a gifted talent, but you have the talent to be bigger than what the block calls you to be. This individual, somebody I'll call a friend, somebody I respect as not only a peer, but a teacher as well. And we ain't going to do all that wasted word stuff. I'm just going to bring him up to the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, King Ipkiss is back. What's going on?
What's on, brother?
Yo, man, you know what it is. Right now, we just getting everybody online, getting ready to talk to you and get to business. What's going on with you, though?
Getting to business. Doing my thing.
Okay, I appreciate that.
The grind never stops.
Oh yeah, that's life. Period. That's why I always say holding on with 2 hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Last time we spoke, we talked about what music needs to do, what artists to do, and how music represents the artist. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Today we're going to take that conversation back, and we're going to challenge the watcher to understand what we're talking about, because some people watched the interview and they got it. Some people watched the interview and it went over their heads. And now that we see the restructuring of music, not only can I say I was right, I could say you were right too. And it all comes down to the sound of the culture and what the culture is trying to represent. So let's go into your understanding so you could teach me and everybody else out here. What the hell is the whole hip hop culture today, and why is it failing musically, in your opinion?
This is a conversation I'm really tired of having, because the shit been failing. The shit been failing for a long, long time, and it's like nobody wants to be. Well, let me not say that, because there's a lot of good music out there. There's a lot of people that's not afraid to be different. There's a lot of people, changing the game, and they're just not, to me, they're not promoted as well as the crap that's out right now. They're not mainstream. You find them on the internet, and that's the only place you'll see them. You go to YouTube, you see them on Facebook, whatever social media is. But that's the only place you'll find them. You won't see them mainstream. So a lot of us don't know unless we search for this good music, because what's in the mainstream is crap, man. And again, I'm tired of having this conversation of how crappy music is. We know how crappy music is. We've grown up with good music. and what it's turned to now, I don't know. I guess it's just some type of plan to dumb us down, but it's I don't know what to call it nowadays, and I'm not gonna subject myself to it. I'm not gonna follow along trends. I'm not dick riding anybody. I am me, and I'm gonna do me.
That's how it should be. But today's music nowadays, hip hop, we're in the demo era again, where it seems like everybody's passing demos, but because it goes to the streaming services first, people have cheapened the art of becoming an artist and articulating a sound, creating a sound. Is that some of the roadblocks you come up in with people not really knowing what the hell they want, or being the artist that they don't know the artist they want to be yet when you give them music?
Meaning, I always say people don't know what they like till they hear it.
Facts.
I'll come at you with anything. So some people are receptive to it, some are not. That's your taste. It is what it is. Some people are like, I can't say trap into the music that's today because it's pushed into their brain. But again, like I said, you have there's a lot of artists out here that wants to do something different, but are afraid to do something different because of they're slave to opinions. They don't want to do anything. Let's say you're the type of person that likes, I'm just going to randomly say country music, since it's trying to become popular again, right?
Gotcha.
We love country, me and you, whatever. Someone would be afraid to do that out of fear of an opinion. Let's say a rapper who has been doing hardcore music all his career, but inside he's kind of fiending for something different. Inside of him, him or her, he really wants to do something different, but they're afraid because they've made this reputation of this hardcore rapper, or they did this and they did that. They don't want to switch it up. I don't want to hear the same thing for 30 years after you've done this hardcore rap or whatever your genre is. If you got something different in you, do it. I would love to hear somebody do something different. Sometimes the shit don't work. Sometimes it don't work. Sometimes they just can't go that route. They try. I respect that, but sometimes it just don't work.
No, that's facts. But see, that's my question to you, because people have been groomed to be cookie cutter, and now it seems the cookie cutter generation is tired of being cookie cutter. See, hip hop especially is very cyclical. You always see it now, they're taking it back to the streets. So now people want to dance, or now people this, and now people that. And I don't think it was a now. I just think that when something gets oversaturated, people just turn. You know what I'm saying? And I was having this conversation on our sister program, ANN R&B. Make sure y'all go to ANN R&B on Instagram and YouTube. That's the Instagram right there, by the way. But when I said on ANN R&B music is like a dead genre because nobody wants to put into it no more. And you have the artists, but people don't push it. And that came out of our conversation last time when you said nobody gives a fuck about the radio. You don't need it. But in actuality, you do need the radio because that's a bigger push. But in actuality, now that the music game has been reshifted and people are losing their jobs and people are now controlling the narrative again, how do you make music that breaks through if you don't have the correct channels to make it happen? What do you say?
You have the internet, so there's always a channel to make it happen. The internet is everywhere. It's worldwide. I'm gonna say it again. The radio is cool. It's a big push, but they're not pushing good music no more. So do you really need it?
Okay, but look, artists are always trying to find their sound. And artists will sell their souls to sign a deal. And the hopes of that deal is to bring them money. And everybody wants to get paid for their product. And the radio is the biggest payout you could get because that opens you up to festivals, shows, and things like that pay the big dividend.
I don't agree with that.
You wanna talk to me about it. Talk to me about it.
I think there's festivals and radio stations and all types of stuff people are doing independent when you can just go to them. Again, the mainstream radio of course is a big push, but so is the fucking internet. So is the internet. Internet to me is just as big as the radio. To me, you got a million followers or whatever on social media. What do you need the radio for? You still have those same audience. You still have that same audience.
True. I mean, you're absolutely correct. You find that music, right? But see, the game has shifted from. Remember, they said video killed the radio star, and then then streaming killed the radio, and now we're in the demo era where everything's a money grab with the bare minimum, right? And
so are they sacrificing their sound for money?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yes, definitely, definitely.
So
and I'm
that's another avenue. My bad. That's another avenue of why most artists are afraid to be different. They want to do what's on the radio. They don't want to do what's in. They don't want to do what's in here. They want to do what's on the radio. So the radio is to me is not pushing you to be a better artist. It's pushing you to do what they want you to do.
I agree, and that's my problem with the streamlining of the game now. Because like we're talking about artists, producers get fucked over the worst. Producers, engineers, y'all get it worse. And I'm gonna focus on that a little later. But right now, when we talk about the streamline, right? Like, how about this? Back in the day, you had to give your music to a DJ to get broken, right? But now the DJ doesn't matter. If you buy ad time, the program director's in your back pocket, not the DJ, because the DJ works for the program director. Now, how much is the ad time that you buy is dictated by the time of day that you want your record played. Because I've seen an artist personally that said, yo, I went to said radio station and they told me if I pay them $1,500, they'll play my song 3 times during the weekend.
It is
that's
what it
crap.
is.
but wait, listen to me. That's trash because your record could play at 2 a.m, then 6 a.m, and then 7 p.m. That's your 3 times. You don't get a play sheet. You don't know what was the ratings. You don't get none of that. But if you pay the program director, you buy an ad slot. So it'll be Cardi B, Drake, Beyonce, you, and you see what I'm saying? And however long you paid for that program, the ad time. For how long? It could be 30 days, like on Facebook ads and all that. That's how your stuff gets played. So now we see the streamlining of what's going on the internet and what's going on the radio, how it's getting mashed together, and artists are getting lost because a lot of artists say, well, I'm just the artist. I just make the music, and nobody's understanding how they can get placed. But most artists are making music to make money or to get heard or to play these festivals to get big. And if they're not learning the game and learning the streamline, then they're playing themselves out, and in turn, that ruins the producer's credit as well. Am I correct?
Okay, I'll go with that.
Well, I mean, look, Stan Ipkiss has some of the hottest beats in hip hop and rock, soul. Damn, you've created beats. Oh yeah, what you had EDM, and now you're crossing other genres. And I mean, you have some of the hottest music out. But if the person who has the record isn't pushing the record correctly or putting it out there, how does the world get to know who Stan Ipkiss is if the artist isn't streamlined and the producer doesn't streamline as well? What do you say?
I hear what you're saying. As a producer, we can't 100% rely on the artist to push if that's what our goal is. So we got to do it ourselves. I'm gonna admit myself, I'm not a big promoter. I have fun on social media. I do what I do. I put up little videos, with the dancing or whatever it is with my music behind it, video games. I have fun. You know, that's how I promote. I have fun. I'm not looking for, you know, a big following or clout chasing, nothing like that. I have fun. So that's how I promote myself. I used to do battles, whatever you know producer does. That's how I promote myself. Again, I can't 100% rely on the artist to promote me. Now, some artists, you know, they do a song with a producer, whatever like that. They also have to think of themselves. So not so much they're promoting it for the producer, they gotta promote it for themselves. So if they're not promoting it, if they're not promoting it for themselves, then we both lose. But like sometimes I'm gonna say we feel like, let's say I do a song for an artist and I don't see them promoting it. I kind of, you know, get turned off by that. You know, if you're not promoting it, I'm not gonna promote it. But I can't all the time think that way because it's still my music.
Right.
And in the back of my mind, I don't want to think like I'm doing all the work for you. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking that. So, but I'm also thinking I would like for you to promote yourself. At the same time, if you promote yourself, then you'll be promoting us both.
Yeah.
But the way shit is now, we kind of have to promote ourselves, because again, they can't count on me 100% to promote because I'm not a big promoter, and I can't count on them 100% because obviously they're not big promoters. So it's all on us. Everything is on us. Some artists they grind, they do what they do. I appreciate whatever they do. Some they do a song and you'll never hear from them again.
Yeah.
So that right there to me again in the back of my mind, if I don't see you promoting it, I'm not going to promote it.
All right, so how about this? I was talking to Phantom of the Beat. Salute to Phantom of the Beat, and rest in peace to his dad who passed away. Haji, salute. Phantom of the Beat, he talked about how he produced one of the biggest records for Ghostface and 50 Cent. And like, it went bananas. And when it came time to do the next album, ghosted. Because now that the price went up, producers, they feel, come a dime a dozen. What is your stance on that? Knowing that an artist could go to anybody to get a beat and believe not in the synergy and chemistry y'all have, but just I got a hot sound and I'll just keep going to the next person. Uh-oh, look like we got a froze screen. We're gonna wait for Mr. Ipkiss to get back on, ladies and gentlemen. How you like the conversation so far? If you like it, give us a thumbs up, hit the like button, because we gotta let them know that we on here talking. And the algorithm has to reset and let everybody know we here. We just lost Ip. He'll be coming back very soon. But I hope y'all like this conversation, because this is a real conversation that we having about where the music industry is going and how it could be better served to help everybody in a situation, the producers and the artist. You feel me? Does anybody else like to join in? Let me know. Hit the comments. Let me know what you think about this conversation so far and how you want to add in. Because we want to take comments and we want to put them into the conversation. Please join us in the conversation. With the streamlining of the music industry, we see that a lot of people are getting fired from their positions. Last year, I did a video where I talked about how Spotify got tired of paying people for playlists, because the people who had playlists were making more money than the average artist. Where the average artist would make $3, they were paying $30, and they had to pay like millions or billions of dollars out to artists and people who made playlists. Now, the playlists they were making were just beats that goes to producers, right? And it was like a sleep playlist or a rain playlist. And on Spotify, you only needed a certain amount of seconds to get played. So if you play it like a song over 30 seconds per song, and you had a playlist of 30 songs, that's how it added up. And that's why they wanted to get rid of people from the playlist. Give me 1 second, everybody. All right. So as I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, salute to Chef Puff. He added in and said the producers and engineers are vital to hip hop. Yes, they are. And with the streamlining of the game right now, what's going on is this. If you looked at Universal Music Group, hold on. If you look at Universal Music Group just fired 900 people. Now, remember when I said Spotify wanted to streamline? When they streamlined, they didn't want to pay this out. What it did was change the financial game of the industry. So now artists are not getting paid, which means the producers are not getting paid, which then also attacks DistroKid, CD Baby, whoever you do to actually put your stuff out on these services. They lose money as well. So with the streamlining of the game, when people are putting their music out, people are saying they don't need the internet, they need the industry. And then people say, I don't need the industry, I don't need a record label, I don't need nothing. I just need to get heard. And that's what the issue I have with hip hop right now is that we're back in the demo era and people don't know what the hell is going on with their craft. Mr. Ipkiss is back. I forgot the question that I asked you, to be honest with you. I started going on. But
keep going.
I think I was talking about Haj G. Haj G, he's part of the Phantom of the Beat. And Phantom of the Beat made a great beat. He made beats for Ghostface and 50 Cent. And what he said was that when a producer gives a person a hot beat, it's like the biggest sound. And then when it's time for the next album, they don't call that producer back. They feel that music comes a dime a dozen. They could just find another hot beat from another hungry person who hasn't got on yet. They can give them their one big break and then leave them. How do you feel about that cyclical, recyclable, bastardized idea that I could always find a beat and just throw a producer away when they don't really look to have chemistry anymore and build a sound with somebody?
So the question is, for artists that does a beat, that does a song with a producer, and it goes big and they throw the producer away. Good question. I don't really have I can't say I don't have an answer for that. Well, I can say I don't have an answer for that because we don't know what's in the minds of these artists as far as working with a producer. And, we gave you this big hit and you just throw us away. That's of course wrong. Again, we don't know the minds of artists. They sometimes, they get big headed. They got this huge song that we gave them and they just bounce on it. Some people are like that. Some people are they just think that way. They see the next big opportunity and they just go for it, not thinking about how they got there or how, what the creative process of everything that the producer did that you didn't know you can do, and we brought it out of you, that got you there. So I can't really comment on people who think that way because I'm not one of those people. So I don't really have an answer for why artists do that. It's wrong, of course it's wrong, but I don't have an answer on why they do that.
See, there was an article a couple years ago that said that Nas destroyed hip hop when he made Illmatic because that was the first album with the super producer tag where people got the best producers from everywhere to give them beats. And while people were auditioning beats, they were killing the producer artist marriage that hip hop had at the time, right? Which is funny now because Nas came back with his 6 damn albums with Hit Boy, which was good work. All of them not classic or great or whatever anybody want to say. I don't know, but it reestablished the sound, right? And today's hip hop, it seems like people could go to YouTube and rip beats. People go to Amno Domini and they get a verse from like Razzcast, and you hear I personally heard 3 artists with the same beat and the same Razzcast verse, and I'm like, what the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? Where you just have a collection of sound that's not authentic. My question for you is, being a person who does authentic work, what is the plight of the producer where the artist wants to be heard, but the producer wants to be appreciated when somebody's just throwing away beats freely on the internet that can get ripped and used for anything?
That's the world we live in now with the internet. But you know, in a producer's defense, I personally don't do it, but in a producer's defense, you want to get your music out there any way you can. So you throw your stuff on YouTube, you throw it on BeatStars or wherever you can throw it at. And then you have artists who just look on these pages and they just get the beats from there. Unfortunately, some artists get the same beat. I don't know what that's about. Some artists, they get the same beat. They, everybody's rapping on the same beat. I've never been a fan of that, hearing multiple artists on the same beat. Some do it good, some not so much. I don't know what that's about. It's the same beat. It's like, what's different from the way you did it than the way this person did it? I don't know. I don't know. But that's just, I'm not an artist like that, like as far as a rapper singer like that. So I don't understand that type of mindset where I hear someone do this beat and then now I'm going to go do the same thing thinking I'm going to do it better than you and get more attention. I don't know how they think today.
But it happens though. Even producers are doing that. Look at doesn't Cardi B and another young lady have the same exact beat, and as they both singles? And we seen it with Timbaland and Busta Rhymes. They had like the same beat, the Night Rider beat. It does happen at certain times. So with the mind of a producer, like I don't get it, because you say as an artist, but you are an artist, but you're more musically inclined as an artist. Like, what is the battle?
When I say I'm not an artist, I'm meaning I'm not a rapper singer. Like, I'm not in front of the camera. I'm not, performing. That's what I mean by I'm not an artist. So I don't know how that type of artist would think. Just like that type of artist don't know how a producer would think. Just my opinion. I don't listen to Cardi B or whatever. I don't know what you mean as far as producers doing the same thing. You got to explain that part.
All right, so how about this? Do you remember when Alchemist sold the same beat to Razzcast and Jadakiss?
No.
So We Gonna Make It for Jadakiss was the same song that Razzcast sold. Alchemist sold to Razzcast first. So Razzcast was putting that song out and promoting it. And the next thing you know, We Gonna Make It came out. He's like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? And that's an example of one producer with two artists. Then you had the example of Busta Rhymes would Fire It Up. And then you had Timbaland and Magoo with their song. I don't remember the name of it. And now you got Cardi B, I think, and somebody else that came out with a song. 2 different songs with the same exact beat. And it's like, what the hell is going on with the production now? It seems like hip hop is going back to the demo days or the mixtape days where, like reggae, you had one long ass beat, but everybody's taking a piece of the production and putting something out. And the game now is being sold where people are buying the same beats. People are buying the same beats, and they're buying features with the beat already attached, and they're coming out with the same beats, same songs. Well, same beat and feature on the song and calling it something different. And that's where I'm getting lost when it comes to hip hop today. Because hip hop today was not that initially. While we had technical difficulties, we'll be back. I'm just going to cut to commercial and I'll be back. Peace.
Hey, Redman is in the building, of course. Jersey's finest, all about them bars, marijuana smoker. Hey, PSA announcement. I need everybody go support. That's right, support my fucking state, my city. Heritage Hip Hop, a New Jersey media source that celebrates New Jersey hip hop worldwide. Facts. And we are celebrating our legends right here, Jersey, baby. Please subscribe to Heritage Hip Hop on social media. That is Heritage Hip Hop on social media. Jersey, you know I love you. Jersey, you know we got bars and we got music and we got legends all day. And if you believe in Jersey and you love Jersey like I do, support that Heritage Hip Hop on all social media platforms. This is Redman and I approve this message.
Salute to the OG Redman for giving us that shout out. We are having some technical difficulties with Mr. Ipkiss. Shout out to my man Chef Puff and my man Nas the Romantic from A&N R&B chiming in. We got sliding doors in. Salute, sis. How you doing? Thank you for everybody tuning in on Instagram. I ask that you join us on YouTube so we could continue this conversation the right way. It seems like production in hip hop has taken a hit, and it's deeper than just people not rapping about certain things. The sound quality has changed. See, back in the 80s, 70s, such 70s, it was disco beats. Then in the 80s, it got automatronic. It was more boom bap, right? In the 90s, boom bap went to the West Coast sound, the horns and all that stuff. And also in the 2000s, we got more digitalized out of analog, and MP3s came in. While the instrumentation of hip hop got bigger with better programming, the sound quality started to get dense because analog is more electric and digital is just exactly that. It's compressed. As hip hop and music in general has gone through this change, with the advancement of technology, look, I could do a podcast in my house. I'm at home. I'm not in a big studio. We don't have a studio audience here. While things got more accessible, people got less inclined to do their best, and the people who do their actual best stand out. And then money started coming into the equation, and we start seeing the industry change. Now think about this. The industry changed from tapes to CDs, or vinyl to 8 tracks to tapes to CDs and now to files. And in the midst of that, we have condensed sound, and we've also sacrificed sound as well. So great men that make beats like this gentleman right here, their skill set has been cheapened, and not only has the producer been cheapened, the producer has been cheapened and the engineer has been cheapened. And we see that people have taken the talent of the producer and made it check a box, I got a beat, and that's it. Mr. Ipkiss, I want to ask you this question because you've worked with countless artists, and I know you've seen the highs and the lows of working with the artists. In your opinion, what is the way an artist can prolong the relationship with a producer and grow with one to the point where y'all both win and I get sacrificed due to a deal, due to an opportunity, or due to whatever the weird shit is that people do when they get opportunities?
Prolonging a relationship with a producer, I would say that's totally up, not totally up to the artist, but when I work with an artist, I like to get to know them. I like to vibe with them. I'm old school. I like to get in the studio. I don't like the whole over the internet. I mean, if you're in another country, then all right, then we do what we do. But I personally like to meet the artist. I like to, chill. We talk, all that kind of stuff. I get to know them. They get to know me. The first thing I normally tell an artist, and it's a shame, but we got to tell these people, if I do something you don't like while we're working together, let me know, because I'm going to keep doing it. So, you good? Yeah. So again, if I do something that you don't like as a producer, as a person, period, let me know. Or else I'm going to keep doing it. You know, you got to establish that relationship with the artist so you can know what type of music to make for them, or find out if they're interested in doing something new. I like to get to know that artist personally in order to work with them, like, you know, to create the best sound for them. That's
No,
just my you know, format of working with an artist. I like to get to know them better so I can know what type of stuff that they're comfortable with, or the type of stuff that they would like to be comfortable with. I try to get them out of their comfort zone. I try to introduce them to something new. I try to, you know, just basically again get to know who they are as an artist so we can be on the same page.
no, I agree. See, everything in society has been destroyed by this thing right here. Because now everything's so freely accessible. Like I said, with podcasting, everything is so freely accessible that before we used to pay $100 an hour to go to the studio, right? I could take studio time and buy a laptop. I could buy a board. I could buy a microphone. I could buy headphones and do this at home. And with the lack of relationships, with the lack of communication, with the lack of personal investment within people, it seems like every part of the art in the art form is getting attacked, and we don't even really recognize it yet. I mean, like you just said about doing things in person. I think podcasting in person is very important, and it's a good thing. But as much as convenient as this is, and sometimes people work on the other countries, like you said, it's good to have that relationship. The hardest thing about not being able to do that is this. When you don't catch a person's vibe, you don't understand how to reach them effectively. You just have conversation. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
And when it comes to beats, it's like, okay, this sounds good to me. I can do this. But when you could talk with a producer and you're in a room, I would imagine that even more creativity comes because now you got two people listening to the same thing and they can get direction. Why don't you tell me about the benefits of working in studio with somebody rather than just giving them a beat and your process?
A vibe. You got like you said, you got to catch that vibe. You got to catch who they are. You got to know what they like. You got to know what they want to like. I go back to saying some artists don't know what they like till they hear it. And I try to introduce them to something new. Sometimes I try to get them out of their comfort zone. Being in person, to me, again, I'm old school. So being in person is like is a lot. Like you can't catch a vibe over the internet. You can't. You just can't. You can't catch it typing with someone. Sometimes you kind of can, but not like in person. You know what I mean? So anytime like someone wants to work with me or whatever, I can easily send them to a page where I got beat set or whatever like that. But I would rather meet them first. I would rather be in the studio with them first so I can catch that vibe with them. Sometimes two people just don't click. And now it's just all business. All right, you like this beat? It is what it is, and you do what you do, and good doing business with you. Sometimes you catch a vibe with them, and all right, we done made something magical, and we can sometimes do it again and again and again and again. When you got that vibe,
When you got that vibe, you can make magic. I like how he said that because
nothing like it.
exactly,
So
there's nothing like it.
yeah, so I would much rather be in person with that artist, working with them, catching that vibe than just over the internet. That's to me is still important today.
But has the
I think the
magic
best
been
music
lost?
comes out that way.
No, I agree. Because has the magic been lost? Like, look at this. You know how everybody talk about Jadakiss and Styles P, back-to-back raps and all that stuff? Listen, Smooth the Hustler and Trigger the Gambler had My Brother, My Ace. You my brother, right? No doubt. We get it down, no doubt. Like they was going, that vibe right there is lively. That brings the music together. Look at MOP. Some people like MOP, some don't. Some people like Helter Skelter, some don't. But they had a vibe that went back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Billion Man Rebellion is one of my favorite new groups I've heard doing heritage hip hop, and they were able to bounce off of each other. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, I think when you meet people from other cultures, that helps you appreciate their sound more because you get to see, feel, and experience their spirit when they're creating rather than just give them something that sounds good. Talk about that. Have you met somebody from another culture that has pushed you to make different music and you learned something from their vibe and it brought something to your vibe that you didn't know you had?
Recently, of course. Yeah. I would say most of my musical career, I'm the type of person I like to try different shit anyway. So I got tons of different types of genre, just different types of beats, different types of genres, all that stuff. I met a woman, Janessa Miranda. I just started working with her. We're doing a project, you know, all that good stuff. Her sound, her vibe is like something that I've never done before. You know, so it's like it pushes me to try something different just as well as I push her to try something different. So meeting artists like that versus me already having, you know, that type of vibe that you're looking for, or you know, you wanted to try already. It's something different than meeting an artist that pushes you to do something different. Like I've been creating different music since I started working with her, and it's pushing me to do a different sound, like something I've never done before. Like I don't know where we're going with this project, but it's somewhere that it's something that I've never done before. So meeting artists like that is man, it's not like it. I love challenges. I like to try different stuff. So when you know me and her working together, it's dope, man. I like to be pushed to do something different.
Have you felt like when it comes to production and productivity, you hit a roadblock because either you put yourself in the box sometimes to make somebody's
no.
So talk to what do you think? Talk to me.
There's no roadblock with creativity. Not with me, at least not with me. Like I'm not afraid of nothing. I'm not afraid of no genre. I'm not afraid of no type of style. I don't think I have one. So I'm always, you know, welcome to anything. I don't care what type of artist you are. I don't care if you do, you know, the EDM. I don't care if you do country. I don't care what genre you do. I'm down for it. Because I think as a producer, just my opinion, as a producer, you gotta appeal to every artist. You know, I don't knock producers who only do hip hop, who only do this genre, that genre, but just me, I like all of them. I'm eclectic. Like I like doing all types of music. So I'm not afraid of no artist that comes my way. Whatever genre you do, let's do it. Let's do it.
So then the roadblock is not you, it's the ears and the creativity of the artist.
I think so. I think it's, again, like I said in the beginning, I think sometimes they be afraid of opinions. I think sometimes they don't think that they're cool enough to do something different. Just my opinion, you know.
All right, because look, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I think a lot of people were Hip Hop 50 was a disappointment to a lot of people, right? Because they wanted to hear a lot of the old school rappers or elders of the game, not old rappers, but who's considered old school now is not old school to me, but they wanted to see a lot of them come out and drop music. But from what I heard, a lot of these elder statesmen are scared to come out because they're afraid that their sound is not going to be receptive. And from the people I've actually heard,
with these kids.
I don't think it's only that. I just think their beats are trash. Like I just don't think they look for a good sound.
Too. They're trying to keep up with these kids, and that's not it, man. Stop trying to be like everybody else. And it's disappointing for some of the older artists to try to keep up with these new ones. I mean, I understand, like I said earlier, you have to appeal to everyone, you have to keep up with the times, but still keep your sound. you can still appeal to everyone and still be you. Busta Rhymes, for example, one of my favorite rapper, whatever. Let me not say I've never heard him try and keep up with new artists because he's done present shit before. He's still Busta Rhymes to me. His rapping ability is still Busta Rhymes. It still sounds old school to me. It might be on a new school beat, but he's still Busta Rhymes. I've never heard him try to do what the younger artists are doing today. If you just listen to his music. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
No, I got you. Cause I heard that new project, and that was different.
I can't. Again, I can't say I've heard him do mumble rap. Maybe he has, and I haven't heard it. I can't say that I've ever heard him do mumble rap. I've heard Eminem make fun of it. I heard Jay-Z make fun of it. Jay-Z is Jay-Z all the time. From Hard Knock Life to now, he's Jay-Z. He's not beat for these new artists, to me. So some artists they still keep themselves in their music, but some of them they just sell out.
That's 100% real. Listen, man, look, there's so many people that can still rap. Because all rapping is wordplay, ladies and gentlemen. It's not some big, and I know some people saying, yo, y'all do old school rap. Y'all want to intrigue people with your bars. We don't want that. We just want to catch the vibe. And that's cool for me because that's the separation of generations. That does not mean that I can't make my music and it's not for you and still be hot, not be hot. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I go to concerts, right? I went to I forgot the name of this band. It did Welcome to the Jungle. You know what that is? Guns N' Roses. I went to a Guns N' Roses concert, right? Mm-hmm. And the young kids and the older dads and moms, they're together listening to this music. Mm-hmm. And the appeal is not I'm listening to what my dad listened to. It's opening up their ears to a different thing. And for the parents, it's passing it on to another generation and letting them feel it. Hip hop is now just starting getting to that era where people are actually fighting against themselves saying, no, that's corny. You don't say something's old and throw it away. That's what I like, appreciate it, and I'll listen to what you listen to and I'll appreciate it. We agree to disagree, but it's still a harmony of music. Why do you think today, especially in the demo, once again, the demo era of hip hop, people are so ardent, they're so passionate about saying what this is not and what this is, and use the music as a scapegoat to separate us?
These sound like repeated questions. It's like,
I know, because there's something we're not hitting on that I'm trying to get you to get to.
Okay, hit on it. I want you to hit on it. I don't. These sound like repeated questions. It's all the same shit to me. It's like I don't know. I can't tell you what these artists think or what their plan is.
I want you to talk to it about
relevant.
No, I want you to talk to it as a producer, not an artist, because at the end of the day, like I said, the producer and the engineers are the ones that take the biggest smack in the face when it comes to this culture. And I think y'all are the most underappreciated people in the game, because anybody who doesn't have a hot beat can stand on the corner and be hot. It doesn't mean that you're relevant. It just means you're good for the corner.
Sure.
Even if you give somebody a nice beat, somebody has to marry the beat and the rapper together with the backgrounds, with the hats, with all the other stuff, so things sound correct. People today do not know how to make an album. People today don't know how to appreciate the people that give them their music and create art. People today are just following a blueprint of failure, and they're limiting themselves to the failure and not the bigger picture, which is the relationship of building and making music that lasts for generations.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you are a generational producer because I've heard your music being able to get mixed to cartoons, video games, singers, artists, reggaeton, fucking Afro beats. I've heard your music. Mm-hmm. He's smiling because he don't want to talk his shit, but I know Stan Ipkiss. And Stan Ipkiss pisses me off sometimes because I want him to go to these music conferences and meet some of these artists that give a fuck and will work with him and go, look, you my man, we're gonna do this together and do something. My issue with the thing right now that I'm trying to get you to harbor on is, why the fuck are we short selling the people who deserve more credit than they get, while the artists in the mainstream, well, the mainstream is slow sucking these damn artists who are trash, but the people who are actually making them hot or the backbone of the damn sound gets left behind and treated like shit. That's what I'm trying to get to with the conversation.
Again, I don't know the minds of why people do what they do. Again, the engineer and the artist, the engineer and the producer is the backbone, the foundation, everything. Like, the artist can't be an artist. Well, let me not say that. Artists are artists. We can't take that from them. But let's say how we're talking now and how everybody hears us. Pretty boring, right? So you put a good beat behind us. You make the engineer make us sound like something, and now you have something magical. I don't know why we get pushed this way. I guess because we're not in the camera. We're like, you never see an engineer dancing all in the videos and shit. Sometimes you never see the producer dancing all in the videos and shit. Some do, some don't, whatever. Sometimes they have a little cameo, like I've done that before. I'll show my face for this song, knowing that I produce it, whatever. But for the artists to consider themselves, they the ones that did all of this, and they some of them do put a hand in it, some of them do make suggestions, some of them do make ideas, whatever. But to forget the team that got you there is crazy to me. Like, how do you forget the team that makes you sound the way you sound? Because it's not just you. It's not just you. You have people behind the scenes. You have the cameraman. You have the of course, the engineer, the producer. You have promotional people. You have people who do your makeup. You have people who do your hair. You have people who dress you. All these people are on your team, and you forget about all of that because you're in front of the camera. You're the artist. But that's, to me, just how shit is. That artist is that artist. You push that artist, and of course you have a team behind you. But some of them not going to give credit to their engineer. Some of them not going to give credit to their producer for whatever they did. I can't read the minds of people who do that. I don't know. I don't have answers for that question. And it's like we keep going back to why artists do this and why artists do that. And when we say artists, we mean like the people in front of the camera. I don't know why they do what they do. Like, okay. Times have changed. Times have changed. Remember in the 80s how you will always big up your DJ or your producer, or even sometimes your engineer. You will always big them up on a song or on the album cover or stuff like that. That shit died. I don't know why. But me, old school, again, I like to go and meet these artists and stuff like that. And I work better that way. But again, I don't know why they do what they do.
Shout out to my sister, Harmony Equality. Look, Stan, I love this woman right here. That's my people right here. For real. Salute, sis. She says she disagrees. We're speaking exact. Some people maybe, but that is a stretch. Actually, the exact is actually the truth, because when most people put Jay-Z up there, right? And Jay-Z has been in the game since the 80s. So his experience and craftsmanship is different because of experience. A lot of artists today, mainstream and underground, really don't know how to put something together. And I'm saying this through my my sample size of artists that just not in New Jersey, that's all over the place. And I have another.
Many said the artists got to deal with their guilt alone because they do feel guilt.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I believe that. I believe that because, like I was saying, you can't do all this with someone behind you, with more than multiple people behind you, and you just go off and forget about them and not feel some type of way about it. If you don't feel some type of way about that shit, that's just something dark within you, my opinion. Because how do you forget who like that's like forgetting your parents?
Hey, it happens though, because of the money. Like about this. Let's go old school because we're gonna talk different eras. Look at the 80s. Cruising down the street in my 6'4". Oh shit, E, that was dope. He had to punch every line in that song. That was producers and production that did that made Boys in the Hood.
Hey, hold on one second. I'm right back.
No doubt.
Pause that real quick.
No. It's all good. Like I said, yo, family comes first. But like I was saying, it was a producer that made that sound and that album, that song, I mean, hot. When you think about Pharrell or Just Blaze or Kanye going into the 2000s now, right? Because Dre is different eras. We could use them for every era. But when you think about Just Blaze, Pharrell, Kanye, they didn't get in the studio and said, that's the beat. Let me hear you rock. They'll say, no, you did this wrong at this part. Do this and do that. And a producer could bring the best out of you, right? And it seems weird to me that people have taken the producer and made a producer just a byline or a name, and then that's it. Griselda actually brought a lot of production back with Derringer, and people saying, yo, he just took the drum out of the beats and that's it. Actually, they work in the damn studio, and he's telling them, yo, do this. The conductor, do this. My man, 80, he's OVO, I believe. Nah, do this. And you have that. And my thing is, in an interview with a producer, my questions are not so almost so the artist, it's the producer's look on how they've been cheapened and taken out of the creativity, not only the namesake or the shout out of it, but the actual creativity that makes our culture great and grand at the same time. I mean, he talked about how people shouted out the producer. Listen to NWA's album where they shout out the person who played the guitar and all this other stuff, and that's true. But when it comes to the music side of the culture, it seems like people have cheapened the person, not who gives them the beat though. The person says, do this on the beat, try this. Let's do this to see how that sounds to make a masterpiece instead of me just putting music out.
That's called producing.
That's what we're getting to. And my thing is, we've gotten to the point where people just want to do this instead of cook. You see what I'm saying? 50 Cent just said in a post when Get Rich or Die Trying went so many times, bajillion streams or whatever. He said, take your time and cook with someone and make a masterpiece. That way they'll never forget you and they'll play you for all time. Most people want to be heard so bad that they're not cooking masterpieces. They're just microwaving something and then it just comes out. To me, once again, because you keep talking about the artist mind, I'm talking about how that affects the producer and the talent they're showing and how they're getting taken out of the equation when it comes to this culture.
Well, you asked me why does the artist do what they do? Again, right? I can't explain why
the artist, right?
Do. So I'm only going by what I know of why artists do what they do, which is right. I don't know how. I mean, I guess I'm different than everybody, than a lot of people. Like when I give an artist, when I do a song with an artist, and I'm totally forgotten about. I look at that as that's how shit is now. I don't make a big fuss about it. It is what it is. Some artists appreciate you, some artists don't. You can't, kind of, kind of predict what artists are going to do. Now, when you're asking me how I feel about it, again, some people are people. I don't know how. I don't know. Like, I just don't give a fuck on some levels. I don't give a fuck. I know that I did my part as a producer. I made you sound 10 times better than what you did before you met me.
Okay.
That's one thing in my resume that I can say that I've done to many artists. I made you sound 10 times better than before you met me. Like, for some reason on my music, you sound different than on anything else. I set the bar high for you. So you can't just do something with me. And this is me being cocky. I don't give a shit.
People talk your shit.
People think I'm arrogant and cocky, all that shit anyway. So I don't give a shit what they think.
There you go. Hey, look, talk your shit.
So, I know when they come to me, they get something different than what they've done before. They sound 10 times better, and you can't just go back to you can't just go back to what you've done before after coming to me. I set the bar for you pretty high. Now you have to compete with what you've done with whoever else with me. I'm not a competition, but you can't just get something from me, then go to someone else, and then it's like you sound better. You don't. Just my opinion. You don't. I'm going to put myself on that pedestal and say that I set the bar pretty high for any artist that I've ever worked with, and you can't go backwards after me.
So then that's my question as a producer, not as an artist. If the artist has to dumb themselves down to sound good, are the producers cheapening themselves by just putting something out so they can be heard too? So somebody's on their music?
Say that again? Are they cheapening themselves?
By just putting something out so they could be heard with these artists?
As far as a producer?
Yes.
I don't know about cheapening themselves. That's what we do. I mean, we work with artists. We make music. We like to be heard. I'm not going to put it as cheapening themselves. I mean, again, I make all types of music. So let's say I made some mumble rap beat. I don't consider myself cheapening myself because I work with a mumble rapper.
All right, so let me put it a different way, because maybe cheapening yourself is different. I gotta come back to that to think about it. Not cheapening. I'll come back to that.
That's just what we do. I mean, I'm gonna say that's what I do.
Right.
I can't speak for other producers because I do a lot of genres. So if I did a mumble rap, then I go to a movie soundtrack. Like I can't consider myself cheapening myself. That's what I do. I do all things.
Yeah, I don't think it's cheapening. Maybe I said the wrong word. Because what I'm really trying to get at with that is not sacrificing your sound or dignity with it. It seems like with everybody saying the beats are horrible today, and that's not everybody, because we got some incredible goddamn artists out here, especially in New Jersey. But
I agree.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is, with everything getting bastardized and cheapened in the public perception, are many producers following suit or not coming up with their own thing to stand out? Are people doing the same thing as producers, but just trying to get on so people could say they worked with an artist? Or from a producer standpoint, is it a score now to be placed and not to be heard with an artist? Like, what is this production game now? Like, I'm very confused.
Again, I always start off with my opinions. Some producers are just looking for this, so they do what's necessary to get this. We're all starving artists out here, and it's like you do what's necessary to get this. I think every producer's dream is to just do this, to take care of their family just by doing this, because it's what we love doing. Me, perfect example. I would love to just do this and take care of my family. But some, they see what's on the internet and they think it's a quick buck to get let me just do this and I'll get a quick buck. Let me work with this artist and I'll get a quick buck. Let me pay this artist and maybe my name will be out there, which makes no sense to me. None at all. How do you pay? How do you as a producer pay someone to get your name out there? I don't think I'll ever like drop. That's like going backwards.
But that's the structure of the game now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what sickens me. Because let me ask you this. Since you've been producing, what's better for you? Producing for other artists or producing your own albums and putting your sound out the way you want it?
Both.
There's no better? They're equal to you?
It is. I mean, working with an artist, of course, you get another more audience. Like, let's say I'm working with the woman right now, Janessa. She has an audience that I'm somewhat familiar with, but not too familiar with. So me working with her broadens my audience. Now, if I was just doing something myself with my audience or whatever, that's a little tougher, a little harder, whatever, besides other than working with someone else. Now, if I'm working with 2 or 3 artists at the same time,
why is the internet fighting us tonight? I don't
it's
know.
It's more beneficial for me, than as a producer than just doing something by myself. But again, when I do something by myself, I have to promote it. We as artists have to promote ourselves. We got to put ourselves out there. We have the internet. Anything is possible.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Since listening to your music and really getting more or back into production, ladies and gentlemen, I don't make beats. Don't ask me. But being more cognizant of what it is you do, it helped me appreciate jazz music that much more, because the music can speak without the rapper on it or the singer on it. The music can give you a message that could paint a picture. The last album you did, not the Generator album. What was the one you did with the numbers again? I apologize. I don't remember.
With the numbers, 326?
Yeah. That album made me appreciate Stanley Clarke more. Are you familiar with Stanley Clarke?
Sounds familiar. I might be if I hear him.
Stanley Clarke is the person who helped do the soundtrack to Boys in the Hood.
Okay.
If you remember the part in the movie where Furious Styles was, the ball, what you got in your hand?
Yeah.
You remember when Trey was in the car and he was doing that with his hand and he was thinking? If you listen to that horn and you see the imaging between the father and son dynamic, that horn was speaking of the passion and the hurt that a father is letting his son go into the world, not knowing what's going to happen to him. And then the son's dealing with the conflict of his home teachings and the anger of revenge. That instrument spoke so clearly that for some people just watching the movie, they just caught into the vision. But when you listen to the music has a message that's so eloquent, it could stir your soul, it could stir your creativity, and it could stir your enlightenment at the same time. You did that for me on you said 326, on the 326 album. Because some of your beats that you made, you have a horn in there, you have somebody talking about Jesus or God, you have Marvin Gaye come in, you had that, and everything hits a different element of human consciousness and human perception. That's my beef with it, because some producers don't see their work like that. They just see is, let's get something hot, let's get a vibe, and let's go. Now, everybody makes music differently. I'm not saying everybody has to be the same, but for you, what is feeding you to hit the emotions, to hit the highs and the lows in everybody's spirit when they hear your music, not just giving them something to vibe to?
I think that's just me being eclectic. I like sounds. I like I don't know exactly how I make what I make, or I do what I do. I zone out. I don't know. I make the music talks. Music talks. And I listen all the time. I listen to music every day, all the time. And sometimes like certain sounds just come to me as I'm making something. I don't know how to explain that as a producer, as far as the way I bring a sound here or sound there. That's just me being me. That's just me doing what I do. To do something like that, as far as how Boys in the Hood did it, I can't explain it. I don't know. Like when I'm creating music, I zone out. I don't think. I don't worry about the opinions of others. I don't worry about if I put this sound in, they're not gonna like it, or if I put that sound in, they're not gonna like it. That's the last thing I'm thinking about when I create music, is what people are gonna like. I do it for me. You like it, you don't. If not, I don't give a fuck. Somebody's gonna like it. Somebody's gonna like it. So somebody's gonna hear it. Somebody's gonna understand what I did. Somebody's gonna understand the sounds that I did, probably better than me. You know what I mean? Certain artists can hear stuff that I don't hear, and I appreciate that in some artists. Like when I was working with MIDI on the project, the album.
Talk about the project. Some people don't know it.
Okay. When I was working with MIDI Murdoch, we did an album called Trauma. I'm thinking it's Trauma. I listen to the album all the time. I can never get the name of the album right. I listen to the album every day, and I never get the name of the album right. So I'm just gonna call it Trauma right now. We did an album where every song was connected as a story, as someone going through a trauma, like a day or a couple of weeks in the life of someone with mental, going through mental health, which is something that we don't talk about enough. So as we were working on it, he would come up with a story, and I would have to come up with a beat that fits his story. I would sometimes already have it. I would sometimes make it around what he's saying. So he would hear things that I don't hear within the beat. Like, let's say I would play a beat. He's coming up with a story, and I'm just going through beats. He'd be like, hold on, stop right there. I hear this story and that. I would have never heard it. Sometimes the artists help you out with that, So me working on that album, I will say is kind of doing the same thing I'm doing with Janessa, because I've never done an album like that. That was a phenomenal fucking album. It was a phenomenal album. It was a great process, doing that project. And it's like me doing an album where we're telling a story. It was crazy to me. Like I loved every moment of it. So I had to kind of go into my movies score, soundtrack, producer vibe, so to speak, because we're telling a story. We're actually making a fucking movie, with the album. So that to me, it was different, and I love doing it. So I don't know or hear too many producers that are doing that right now.
Right.
I can't name one locally, right, or mainstream. I don't know anybody that's doing stuff like that right now.
Well, the one album I can say that people are actually playing that's being pushed is Schoolboy Q, because of TDE's new sound has a lot of beat switches in the rhymes. So you start off with one beat, you go to the main beat of the song, and then something else or something like that.
Is it mainstream?
Yeah, Blue Lips. And
an album where everything is a story.
Everything's a beat switch. The beat dictates the story, or the rhyme. Yes, not a whole a movie. It's not a cinema.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Is an album a story?
No, that the last one I heard like that was Ghostface, 36 Seasons. So I think something like that.
I'm talking about today. We're not telling stories today. Rappers ain't telling stories
most today. Not today, no.
Everybody's talking, coming up with bars with 1,000 bars on how they can kill somebody, how the gun can shoot, and all this shit. 1,000 bars for that. Nobody's telling the story. Nobody's talking about mental health. Nobody's talking about anything.
That's a fact.
To me, if the beat ain't dope, I don't know what you're talking about, because you ain't talking about nothing.
Isn't that why most of the old school rappers are old? Because they're not talking about shit no more, or they're not telling their story, or they're not saying anything, and people are letting hip hop being dictated by people who don't look like us, who put poverty in the power by giving the youth who are looking for their opportunity the chance to be the leaders of the culture while having nothing to talk about, just to get the opportunity to get paid.
Well, the old school rappers has been there and done that. You know, I understand like it's hard to still tell your story. I mean, your life still goes on, and you can still tell your story. But like in the 90s and early 2000s, 80s, all that stuff, it's been done. I don't know where music can go from this point. It can still stay this, like you can still, everybody has a story, you can still tell it, but that's not what's being promoted.
But see, you said we have the internet, so it's up to us to promote it then. Because listen, I'm gonna keep it real with you. No, yeah, I know. I'm vibing with you because this is where I come down to. We're gonna finish. We're gonna wind this down in a couple minutes. But this is where I'm coming. This is the point I'm coming to. Is that we have people who are aging with their artists, and their artists can still talk to them. Just because you're a younger artist doesn't mean an older artist can't still teach you while making new music. Look at Kool G Rap. Kool G Rap is still putting music out. KRS-One is still putting music out. And they're older than Nas. And Nas is putting music out. Jadakiss is considered old school. He's been putting music out. Like
I'm not saying the old school artists can't put music out. I'm not saying that.
Right, I know.
I'm just saying
you're talking about what they had to talk about. Right?
Sure, like halfway. Like let's say you're a Jadakiss or whatever. So knowing Jadakiss is another rapper that does bars as far as how he can kill someone. All right, you can always keep up with, you know, Jadakiss has bars. Jadakiss is a rapper. You cannot fuck with Jadakiss as a rapper. He can continue on 20 years from now.
Yeah.
But he can do that because that's where music is. Right. All you're doing is talking shit. He can do that. Someone like an Andre 3000 considers himself. He said I stopped rapping because there's nothing else to talk about.
Right.
That's what I'm comparing those two types of artists. You know what I mean? So he came out playing the flute. Yes, I personally think Andre 3000 can still, you know, find something to talk about. Life still goes on. You're still doing shit. But the type of rap that Jadakiss does is different from what Andre 3000 does. Jadakiss can go on forever because that's where music is. You're just talking shit.
And to get off of the artist,
music is. Sure.
Yeah, but to get off of the artists are very finite where production is not. So that goes back to the point where I'm trying to say that a lot of producers and great people who make great music get thrown away due to the vibe or the trend of the game instead of appreciated because people give the power to entities, fads, and cycles that don't really have to do anything with music itself. It's just a money grab.
I was just going to say music is not thrown away because of the producer or the engineer.
Not at all.
We're listening to the rapper or the singer. We listen to what they say, which is what we've always been doing. Some of us like the beat to it or whatever like that. That's what gives us the vibe. But we're listening to what they're saying. So if you're not saying anything, then all we need, that's why producers are coming out with instrumental albums. We can do this shit by ourselves.
That's what I was getting to. That was exactly what I was trying to get to.
You didn't get to it, bro. Like I
wanted you. I want them
now.
But I want them to hear you first before, you know, I just interject and just talk too much. You know what I'm saying? Because now
do your thing, bro. Do your thing. You know
more producers are coming out with instrumental albums like Stress. Buck Wild just did one. Who else did one recently? Conductor Williams put one out. I don't know if Rock Marcy did, but Premier, he puts out beat tapes and things like that, which is a double pay for a producer because if you put out quality work, people are going to want to use it, and then you get paid when they use it. You know what I'm saying? So now that we see that now the producers are not being sacrificed to the industry today, because everybody could put their stuff out today. What do you think is what is the ladder of success now for a producer, in your opinion, when it comes to the music industry and the music lifestyle?
I've heard somebody say before, "Fuck the artist," because we can put out music, we can put out our own music, we can put out instrumental albums and all that stuff. I've heard people say, "Fuck the artist." We can do shit for TV, we can do shit for video games, all that stuff. That to me, as a producer, is a ladder for success for a producer. But a producer's originality is where we come from, is working with an artist. That's something, in my opinion, we can't avoid. That's something we like doing. We like working with other people and all that stuff. Sure, I can do a song for a video game or a movie. That's just something I can do. I think my sound is fit for that. But working with an artist, making new music, vibing out in the studio, that to me is I would say worth more than just doing something for a video game or a movie like that. That's easy for me. I don't know about other producers, but for me it is. But working with an artist is like that's one of the steps on that ladder to success, because you still want to have your music more promoted out there, hoping that the artist promotes that music. If not, it is what it is. We do what we do. We can always go to video games and stuff like that. We don't fucking need you, but we like to work with artists and stuff like that. That's one of the steps.
So is that the challenge, to get away from people and to build, or is it to connect with people and build?
To some people, it's a challenge to connect with people and build. To some people, it's to get away. I personally like both. I like to get away and I like to connect.
Okay.
I think I like more the connection with artists than working like for a soundtrack or something like that. Even though that's what my music sounds like, and that's that. To me, that's the easy part. I can always do a orchestra band or a soundtrack or whatever like that. But working with a different artist challenges, depending on the artist, it challenges you. Depending on the artist. Because sometimes I've already challenged myself and have the music for that artist. But then you have some artist that comes along, like Janessa, she challenged you.
Right. Well, I gotta ask you this, as we begin to close this down. Music is the only thing that keeps humanity sane. And when we take away the power of music and make trends and fads and vibes out of it, we do more harm to the people than we actually help them. Where do you want to take your music in the future? Are you still want to be behind the boards? Do you want to learn live instrumentation? Do you want to go somewhere else to add to your production techniques?
I'm open to any and everything. I think I've done almost. Well, let me not say that. That's why I said almost. I think I've done almost. Like, I've been doing this since I was a kid, so I can't really say. I can, but I can't really say there's almost nothing I've tried or done already. I don't know where my music is going to take me. I'm not trying to predict the future on where it's going to take me. I just do this because I love doing it. I'm not clout chasing. I'm not dick riding. I don't care about the money. I don't care about the fame. I don't care about opinions. I don't care about anybody, any of that shit. I do this because I love doing it. I would do it if no one heard me. I would keep doing it. I will keep doing it. So I don't have a direction to where my music is going to go. Where it takes me, I don't know. I'm just along for the ride.
I would like to say it's a pleasure to always get to talk to you on camera. Our conversations are a little crazier off camera. And I didn't want to put that on tonight because,
man, stop.
Nah. Well, go ahead, say it. Go ahead. What?
See, no.
Good.
When we're off camera, I tell you this all the time, right? I tell you this all the time because you will sometimes, you know, wonder what can you do to switch it up, or what can you do to, you know, something or whatever like that. You know, like for me, again, I'm an open book. Like I told you before, I don't care what you ask. I don't care about none of that shit. You have to sometimes ask those tough questions. Like we've sat here and talked about hip hop and the stage of hip hop for an hour and a half, and these questions are never going to get truly answered. These questions have been asked for the past 2 decades, and nothing has changed. Nothing will change. You ask me questions as far as what I think as a producer, what the artists think. I don't know what the hell they're thinking. I don't give a shit what they're thinking. I'm a producer, and I do what I do. I love what I do. I don't care about nothing else. So whenever I'm gonna tell you this again, because again, like you just said, we have our, you know, conversations off camera, and they're a lot deeper than this. And I was trying to tell you, nigga, bring it.
Nah.
Bring it, bro.
Mm-mm.
Stop being scared of bringing it to these people, man. When you doing these interviews, bring it to them.
Of course. And that brings us to the rapid fire questions.
Of course.
That's what brings us.
No. There's no course. Bring it to them. I watch your interviews. I need you to bring it to them.
No doubt. Okay, and I have. But today was different because
what's different about today?
I wanted you to hit on. Everybody talks about mainstream, underground, but I feel the mainstream and underground shits on producers equally. So I wanted to ask you something in the rapid fire questions, which are not yes no questions. These are questions designed to tell you the deepness and the understanding of the artist, producer, and what they do. And one of the things I wanted to ask you was, does society dictate how you produce?
How I produce personally, or
well, period. Because Nina Simone once said, an artist's responsibility, which is also a producer, in this, an artist's responsibility is to make music that reflects the times in which they live in. We live in a time where love doesn't matter, morals don't matter, and people create from their expression or their emotions. Are you the same? Does society dictate how you produce?
Nobody dictates how I produce. Nobody. I am Stanley Ipkiss, and I'm a producer from Newark, New Jersey, and that's it. I produce what I want to produce. I would say I'm one of the most free producers out here because I do what the fuck I want. I don't care about anybody's opinion. I don't care, bro. Like I don't care about. I'm not a slave to anyone's opinion. That's why I'm able to. I'm like, I grew up in a different time than now. You know, our parents play all types of music in a house, so we soak that shit in. They don't know as kids that we're listening, because kids listen. But all that going to church, we grew up with all that stuff, and I incorporate that into my music. So nobody dictates how I produce. I produce the way I produce. You either gonna like it or you don't. Somebody on the planet is gonna like it. Somebody on the planet is gonna, you know, appeal to it. Okay. So why when I make music, I gotta limit myself to don't do this or don't do that or do this thing because that person is gonna like it or don't like it. That's stupid to me.
Maybe it's not limitation. Maybe it's how you've matured and how you make beats now to how you started to when you found this and you found that, or a new MP or something, and it changed how you look at life and how you interpret life with your new sound.
I think for some producers it's always limitations.
Okay, like who? Like what?
Opinions. I don't know who. I'm just speaking in general. Opinions is always a limitation. If I'm making something, and I'm thinking about what someone would think about what I'm making, that's a limitation.
Yeah.
If I like a shirt that I see in the mall and I don't want to buy it because I think someone's not gonna like it, that's a limitation.
Okay.
Like when I wear this stuff, like what look at my hair. This stuff is unlimited. I do this because I don't give a shit. Some people won't do it because they would think someone wouldn't like it. I don't give a shit. So it's always limitations with some producers. Always. Because most artists, they do it for the people. Some of them don't do it for themselves.
Okay, so
sure you have to make. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Sure, you have to make what?
Sure, you have to. You're trying to sell a product, right? You gotta think business sometimes. You're trying to sell a product, and you want to do what you think the people like. But what about what you like?
Which comes with life and experience, which comes with and today's experience it deals with, people call it vibe. I call it life energy. A lot of people's life energy is not on the same wavelength. And just because you be looked at it a certain way doesn't mean you can't vibe with somebody else. And I'm not talking about artistry or production now. Now I'm just talking about straight up life. Because like you said, you don't give a shit. But has there ever been a time and not giving a shit actually has hindered you beat wise or creatively that when you look back, you go, shit.
No.
And see,
I don't regret nothing. I don't regret nothing I've done as far as me doing stuff for me and not caring what people think. I don't regret none of that. None of it. So you see, hold on, not to cut you off, because it opens up to whoever I'm working with to think the same way. Sometimes that artist hinders themselves on what people think. And when they see me making what I make and not caring about what people think, it kind of gives them like inspiration. I can do this. If he can do it and not, really, he's still free. He can still be himself. I can do it. I've witnessed that many times working with people. Many times. Like, man, fuck it. Let's do this. Some people don't have that, energy with working with some producers or over the internet. They don't have that. Okay. So coming to me and bringing you something different and something free. Some people need that inspiration.
So is fear the number one thing that kills hip hop in today's society to you?
Fear is stronger than love, like Tupac said. Fear is stronger than love.
Is it?
Fear is stronger than love. Let me tell you my opinion on that. You can fear someone's energy, and that'll be the reason you don't love them.
Interesting.
If that makes sense.
Interesting.
If that makes sense.
That's deep.
Someone can fear heritage hip hop so much that they don't want to love heritage hip hop.
Be afraid.
Right? Okay. Someone fears me as far as me being as free as I am, me not caring, me not, all this stuff that I am. Someone fears me right now. Someone fears me, and that hinders them from loving me. We can work. We like. There's no telling what we can do together. Yeah. Quick story. Quick story. Real quick. I'm gonna try to make this real short.
You good?
This past summer, I teamed up with a producer. His name is Sling Raw. Mind you, we used to go at each other. We used to battle each other for years. Battle each other off and on. We connected in this tournament. We won the whole thing. I say that, let's say we always was at each other's throats. We was always at each other's, bumping heads. We don't know what we could have done together. So when we finally came together, we won the whole thing. Like, we're champions now together. So we don't know what we can do together by not fearing each other. That's what I mean by fear is stronger than love to me.
Okay. So then what's holding us back is the fear to be free and not loving the opportunity and possibilities enough. That's what you're saying?
If I was a podcaster, right, and I feared you, then we couldn't work together because I fear you. Now we come together, who knows what we can do?
That's deep. Because at the end of the day, that's what hip hop was all about in the first place, is bringing people together to stop violence. And look at where we at now. That's what R&B was all about.
If I see someone that, in my opinion, produces way better, I'm just saying way better than me, or they have more connections or personality or equipment, whatever like that. The last thing I'm doing is fearing you. I want to work with you. There's no telling what you know that I don't, obviously. And there's always something I probably would know that you don't. I don't fear anybody. None of you niggas. Nobody. I don't fear anybody. I don't fear anything. I don't give a fuck about none of y'all. I don't fear nobody. I'm always welcome for, networking and collaborations and all that stuff. I like to grow. I'm always a student.
Facts.
I'm always a student in this game. But some people fear what they don't understand.
So I guess the title of this in the podcast interview is "Fuck y'all niggas." He said, "I ain't scared of nobody." So that's how we gonna leave it.
It's not so much.
I ain't scared of nobody. Not so much. Yeah, I got it.
I'm not. It's not so much fuck him, but I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about him. Like if you're on some shit like you fear me or you think I'm arrogant or you think I'm some type of way, everybody has their own opinions about you. Like, you have a billion personalities when it comes to everybody who knows you. Everybody who knows you thinks something different about you. Know what I mean? Right. So I can't please all of those thoughts. And I'm not trying to. I don't give a shit about none of your thoughts. I am who I am. I'm going to be who.
He's going to be himself.
I'm just going to be me. I'm not a good actor. I can't be nobody else but me. So I don't fear none of y'all. I'm going to be who I am around anybody.
Well, I think we should end it off right there. I don't have rapid fire questions for you today. And the reason why I took this interview the way I did, because I want to do a part 3, because this ain't shit. Man, I hope I didn't cheat anybody. Nah.
You did cheat people.
Nah.
You did cheat people.
Nah.
You ever watch the movie and the sequel is worse than the original?
Many times, but that wasn't today.
Yeah.
That wasn't today.
I think our first interview was way better than this one.
So then you need to interview me.
Because you took it easy. You took it easy.
Nope. I just think you need to interview me.
You ain't said nothing.
I did.
You ain't said nothing.
I did.
I'll come up with some questions.
Do it. Because at the end of the day, it's not fear. It's respect. And respectfully, I don't know where you want to take it, because I don't understand. I don't know where you wanted this to go today. But I know I asked you the things I asked you because I wanted to get the production versus artist thing out the way, because I've talked to producers to get ready for this interview. And it seems like in the game, the producer versus artist thing has came up because people have driven a wedge between the importance of either elevating one over the other. And I think the producer.
I don't think there's a producer versus artist. I think that narrative is what makes producer versus artist. There's not a producer versus artist.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I understand that some artists don't recognize their producer sometimes. Like, I think that's just the way it is today. Yeah, that's life. It is what it is. But I don't think there's a producer versus artist.
No, that's the narrative I'm saying that has been pushed. People have made it a conversation. And I don't think that's a fair conversation because that cheapens our culture. Not only that, I think when people don't understand the importance of the mind of a producer, they take out for granted even more. That the artist is like, I'm an artist. I don't give a fuck about a beat. My job is to just do this. Where if you did give a fuck and you talk to the person and you work with somebody who actually nurtured the beat and wants to hear the best out of you, then y'all get together, y'all can synergize and make something happen. Our culture is fucked up because we've taken a lot of the relationships that matter and made them substandard. We have traditional man, modern woman, high scale individuals. We got all that conversation, so love dies. We have vibes, mumble rap and all this shit and beats without drums and all that. So now people don't even connect musically with each other. Now everybody's fighting for, I prefer this, your shit is old and this is that. And we're playing ageism against each other. Then on another part of society, not only do we do it racism, sexism, police brutality, lack of education. Now we got migrants. We got all this shit going on. The main thing is the connection and relatability to each other, and our relationships are being destroyed, whether it's creatively in the school system, in our love lives, or in our society as a whole. We call people brothers, but we shit on each other every day, whether we know it or not. We say that we want people to be equal, yet we don't have equal education, and we don't have equal opportunity to learn the standard of education. And lastly, but not least, we live in a society where because you're brown skinned, if you don't entertain me, the powers that be say, if you can't entertain me, why the fuck should I listen to you? Because you have no value. So a lot of my interviews.
Personal. That sounds personal. That sounds personal. It doesn't sound.
It should be. It should be.
Hip-hop producer, whatever, you know.
No, that encompasses everything that hip-hop is. That's everything we are. That encompasses everything we are. Because at the end of the day, if our culture was based off of people taking shit away and us having to make something from nothing, now we got a little bit of something, and now they're trying to make it a nothing again to see what we're going to do next and how we can entertain them, or how we can make do, or how we're gonna rise up again out of what was given because other people are now taking what we worked for, and that's some bullshit. And that's where we at. And on a music level, producers get shitted on, engineers get shitted on, rappers get shitted on, and they shit on y'all.
You know, yeah, it's a 50-50 thing to me. My wife said something interesting. She said, you should care if the beat made you relevant.
I ain't touching that.
Yes.
No, that's a fact.
Why not? No. Stop. See. Stop saying you're not touching it. We're gonna touch it. We're touching everything. We touching it.
Okay, touch it.
You said you're not touching it. You can't. Nah. No, we touching it.
You should not care. You should not care if the beat did not make you relevant.
You should care if the beat made you relevant.
You should care if the beat made you relevant. I agree.
The beat made you relevant.
I agree.
Beat made you relevant.
But there's a lot of people that's not relevant. So what the fuck are we touching on?
What do you mean?
A lot of people don't have good beats. So why should I care?
A lot of people do have good beats. Stop it. Have you looked up any other type of music besides the mainstream?
Yes, all the time.
All right.
That's all I get.
So you don't hear no good beats.
I've heard some.
All right. You heard me, right? You heard the artist I work with, right?
Yeah.
No, it's not. It
is different.
No, it's not.
No, because I'm talking about outside of you. I'm talking about outside of you because that's too personal. Because I'm skewed to your music. So when I listen to your music, I'm like 80% of the time, I'm going to be like, I like this shit. I already know it. With somebody who I'm finding, it's different because I have a blank slate. I don't know them. So it's different.
That is a sad thing to say because
but it's true.
It's a lot of like dope music out there. It's a lot. I don't know what you're looking up. I don't know what you're looking up. Well, you say you don't like R&B. You say
I'm learning R&B. I'm learning R&B because I never was into. That wasn't how I grew up. It wasn't a sound I was around a lot. I know more about other genres than I do about R&B.
I think some of us look at R&B differently, right?
Right.
So would you consider like Temptations, Blue Magic, all that R&B?
No, that's soul music. No.
Okay, let's go with soul music. Soul music is still alive. You have to look for these people.
Hell yeah.
All
Ariel
right,
Speaks is dope. Hell yeah.
All right, so these people are on good beats. That's still a good beat to me.
Okay.
If you're doing if soul music is still good music, I understand your heritage is hip hop, but I don't put you in that. I don't put you in that hip hop category. I don't know what you're looking for.
I'm not in a box. If you say I'm in a box, no, I use hip hop because that's our culture, generational culture today. If it was swing music, I'll be heritage swing. Something different.
So
you know what I'm saying?
so what I'm saying is there has been music before hip hop.
No, facts.
Whatever genre it was, there has been music before that. So if that's not what you're looking for, then you'll never find it. But there's music out there, like something as simple as a movie score, or something other than hip hop or R&B. There's always good beats out there. This is where I get my music from. It's not just hip hop. It's not just R&B. There's always other genres that that I welcome. So we can't say that there's no good beats out there, and I'm not the only one making good beats.
Yeah, but that's not what I said.
I make good beats, but I'm not the only one. There's good music out there. It's just not promoted mainstream.
You're right. Like I said, when I see your name on it, because we have like a more personal relationship, it's different.
Sure.
My expectations are already met. But when I meet somebody totally new, I'm genuinely surprised. Like, look, when I got to Billion Man Rebellion, I talk about them a lot because I love their music. DJ Static's beats fucked me up. I was like, damn, this is hot. And that's one of the few albums I play a lot from when I started Heritage Hip Hop. I've heard of some good albums, but they don't have replay value. That's when I had replay value. Samaj Savage has had replay value. You're not all over that album, but I hear other producers himself and other people who make beats. A Sharp makes good beats. And I've heard who's my man from the down south? My man from Canada who does GB, God bless his beats. Great producer to me. So that's not what I mean. And when we go to other genres, shout out to my man Nas the Romantic. We do A&N and R&B. Check out the A&N and R&B page on YouTube. You can see our latest show, which is R&B on some bullshit that people don't come together to collab to make great songs anymore. We even talk about that too. He put me on Luke James, Dawsey. I think it's Dawsey. We talk about October London, who's a new artist. You see what I'm saying? He was signed to Snoop on Def Jam. I don't look for R&B, but when I find something that's really, really good, I talk about it to everybody and I'll put it out there. You see what I'm saying? And like your wife said about relevancy in the music, my thing is still, it's a lot of music I get, and that shit be fucking horrible. And that doesn't make them relevant. So me speaking to them is really hard. There's people who ask me for interviews, I just have to turn down. Because if you don't make good music, I can't fuck with it. I just can't. I can't.
Let me ask you. I don't agree with. I don't agree with that.
Okay.
Let me ask you this: what makes you relevant? Your opinion or others' opinions? Because if I hold on, because if I didn't, let's say I'm a podcaster or whatever. Let's say I'm Heritage Hip Hop, and I see you. And I see you and I hear your music, whatever. If I like your music, personally, you're relevant.
Okay.
I don't care what the popular opinion is. You're relevant to me. So you're welcome to my platform. I can't say that. Okay, let me say this. Some of the people you have interviewed is irrelevant to me. They're whack to me.
That's fair.
All right. So I don't agree with everybody you interview because that shit is whack. That shit is trash. I don't agree with everybody you fucking interview, but you like them, so that's why you want to interview them. So they're relevant to you. So what makes people relevant to you?
To me personally,
sure.
What makes a person relevant to me is finding something I could talk to them about. Because I've interviewed people whose music I did not like, but I wanted to know something about them based on something they said. So I've used that conversation to teach me as well as to vibe with them as well. And that's the truth. And that's 100% fact.
So you have interviewed whack people.
Yes.
All right. I'm glad you agree with that because
yes, I have.
Yeah. All right. Because again, some of the people you have interviewed are garbage.
Hey.
But again, you said that if they're not relevant to you, then why am I talking to them? So you have done it before. So so relevancy doesn't matter. Let's throw that out the window.
Musically?
I don't. Yes. We talk music, right?
Some musically, yeah. Musically, some of them. No, I will never play their music again. Yeah.
All right. But you interviewed them.
Yeah.
All right. So relevancy is out the window.
And that goes to the point of one of my favorite interviewers, Larry King, who did not agree with everything someone said, but he brought them on for the conversation. Because sometimes I believe the conversation gives you enlightenment.
Yeah, nobody agrees with everything that they're interviewing said, but the purpose of the interview is you have a show. That's what you do. You don't have to agree with everything they say. Of course, Shannon Sharp didn't agree with everything Cat Williams said. You see every time Cat Williams said
something, with that money. That's
Cat,
all.
Come on.
Yeah, it was all about the money. It was all about the money.
Yeah,
you know.
That's what that was. He didn't agree with everything Monique said. Like, oh, Mo, come on. Like, we don't agree with everything someone says, but that doesn't. Our opinion doesn't make them relevant.
Right. That's 100%.
I don't care if they have millions of followers or whatever. If that don't make you relevant to me.
Mm-hmm.
That it is what it is.
No, I agree.
So relevancy. Let's just throw that out the window. We're gonna throw it out. So whenever you interview somebody, don't think because they're not relevant that you can't interview them.
No, that's not what I'm saying. It's not relevant to me. I can't talk about relevance for everybody else.
I just said that.
Yeah, I know, but see, once again, what I'm saying, when I listen to somebody's music, if I don't like it, but I hear something interesting, that's a good conversation. So part of what I like to do is talk to people to learn that person and to show people who may be in that person's crowd the importance of them. And maybe the thing that interested me interested somebody else, and maybe they will find something they like about that person and want to hear their music and make their own decisions. A lot of people, I had somebody wanted to be on Heritage Hip Hop and the music was absolutely fucking garbage. There's nothing. Maybe there's people who like that shit, but it was nothing.
I've seen a few people like that, but go ahead.
Okay. But there's music that they have made that I had to turn that shit off because I was like, I don't understand or can't connect to nothing they're saying. Nothing. And I know that's not something that's just to me. I know other people may look at people and be like, some people may look at your music and be like, I don't fuck with Stan Ipkiss music. I don't like that shit. I like that. I like that drill shit. And I get
that's the first thing I accepted going into this. The beginning of my career, I accepted that everybody's not gonna like my music. That's what kind of gave me the strength to say, all right, I don't give a shit what you think. Somebody's gonna like it. Maybe you don't, maybe you don't, maybe you don't. Somebody is. I don't have to appeal to just this city or just this state or this country. We live on a planet.
Facts.
So constructive criticism I take all the time, whether you like it or you don't like it. But I'm still gonna make my music. So your opinion is not gonna dictate what type of music I make. But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I mean I agree with that. I agree that 100%.
I know you're trying to cut me off, but we're gonna talk.
No. I'm not trying to cut you off. No, I'm not. I just got a weird thing. No, I'm not trying to cut you off. The thing is, 100%. You're 100% right. But the thing about my platform is, as long as you choose something I like or connect with, I can have a conversation with you, and hopefully that gets people to want to listen to you and hear you. I've had an artist come on here, I'm not saying no names, who our interview went from music to mental health, and that was one of the dopest interviews I've ever done, considering when I heard his music, I wanted to throw up in my mouth. This shit was trash. I couldn't deal with it. One of my best interviews on here wasn't even with a musical artist. So that story that was being told intrigued me and led me to music out of the conversation. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's people who make great music that I've interviewed. There's veteran artists that I've had on here that, wow. And then there's the people who are on here that have a story worth telling, that their music now can be understood because of their personalities or what they went through, not just a connectability of me liking what they've made. You know what I'm saying? Because I've met people here on here. Look, when you work with people and publicists bring people on that you may or may not like, you do it for them, and you're also building your chops up to get your interview skills up. Because now you're challenging yourself to talk to a person that maybe you have no connection to whatsoever, and you don't like their shit at all. Which is fair. It's
always been done. Like you say, it's fair to talk to someone where you have no connection to, no connection. So again, relevancy is out the window. You don't have to interview someone who you think is relevant. It is what it is.
Most of the people I interview are not relevant to the world. Period.
Nobody's relevant
because nobody knows them.
Ice Spice to me is not relevant.
But she matters to people, which is crazy, right?
All right.
So
is she relevant to you? Is she relevant to you? Do you listen to her shit?
Yes.
You do. So she's relevant. Yeah. That makes her relevant.
No, she's not relevant to me. But I study her to understand where the pulse of the culture is, so I can have a conversation.
Does she have this? What the fuck does she have for you to study? All she do is shake her ass.
Easy. Sexy Red, Ice Spice, Suki Hana, and shit like that. That's what the little girls that's what the little girls today are listening to. And they're gonna grow up with that. Those are the same girls my nephew's grandson and all them other people are gonna be looking at and like, damn, this is the person I want to be with. And I gotta give some type of measure to know how I'm gonna train them so they don't get fooled by that. A serpent always studies his prey before it strikes. So I have to know what's going on around me, so I can give them something to prepare themselves with. So it is my duty to be a watchman. So that's why I watch. Now, is there things Ice Spice does that I actually like besides shake her ass? Because people like ass, no doubt. But is there something I like about it? I like how it changed the tempo of the culture, but I don't agree that it's good music. That's it. It's just a different sound.
What do you mean by changing the tempo of the culture? Lil' Kim been shaking her ass. What do you mean by changing the tempo?
Different tempo, beats per minute. Like, it's different. It's different. That young vibe is different.
She do drill music.
True, but it's feminine, so it's interesting. It's not dope. It's just different. So when something's different, I like to study it for a minute and go, huh? And then when I'm done with it, I'll leave it alone.
I'm going to take it as we have our own opinions on something.
Of course.
Because she does nothing relevant, nothing different, nothing new, nothing that I like. Nothing.
That's cool.
Nothing.
That's cool. And like I said, I'm not buying her music saying I'm listening to the new Ice Spice. No, I'll listen to it and I go, okay, interesting. Because you know what interests me about Ice Spice and these young ladies? I'm interested in their career path long term than just what they make. Because, like I said, we're in the demo era of hip hop, so we just hear a lot of shit. We just hear anything. But when people become artists, that's when I go, this is when the switch came. Just like when people become corny, you're like, I don't like this shit no more. I ain't fucking with that. I'm gonna stay here. I actually am interested to see where they go. I am.
These chicks is prostitutes. These new rappers is prostitute.
It is prostitute culture. It is prostitute culture.
You ain't saying nothing. You showing your body, you shaking ass, whatever. But what are you saying? Can you tell me one lyric from Sexy Red or Ice Spice?
No.
Exactly. You just looking at them.
I don't look at them. I listen to the music. What are you talking about? Oh my God. And I don't listen to Sexy Red. No, I really don't. Mm-mm. I'm being real with you. I get the music, so I actually have listened to a song to see what does it sound like. And the one thing I've learned about Ice Spice is she actually tries to put words together, but because it's dead it's dead energy, she has to shake her ass to get the crowd into it. So if you listen to her music, the part where she shakes her ass is the same breakdown in every song. So I say, okay, I get why they like this. It's not for me. I get it. But Sexy Red, I don't listen to her shit at all. But I've heard something when she first came out. And that's when I heard that my pussy pink, my butthole brown. When I heard that, I said, she's dead. I don't want nothing to do with that. When Glorilla first came out, I heard her do Green Eggs and Ham, and she was rapping that on the radio in her same style with her voice. I was like, I don't like this shit. But now I listen to her song, Yeah, Glow, and I saw growth. And I was like, I see that. Now let's see what's next. That's just me. I do that with every artist. I want to see where you're going.
Do you listen to her?
Hell yeah. I love her music.
Okay, that's R&B. That's an example of there's still good music out there.
Yeah, damn right. Coco Jones is good.
Coco Jones is good.
Fucking
I like Coco.
Everybody likes SZA now, and SZA always talk about some niggas. I ain't with some niggas. Everybody praise that, but she actually has talent. She can sing. You see what I'm saying?
I say, you know, somebody like a Coco Jones is good. I listen to her, but I never listen to, like, I'm a producer, so I don't so much get into lyrics, right?
Yeah.
But I listen to the music. So somebody like a her and Coco Jones, I don't know what the hell they're talking about, but I like their vibe. I hear the music. It ain't just a trap beat or a drill beat on some bullshit.
Right. It froze again, y'all. We are 2 hours into this conversation. Damn. Huh? We are 2 hours in this conversation. You froze.
You know how we do. Stop it.
Yeah,
you know how
we do. Go ahead, bro.
It is what it is. It is what it is. We here. So, like,
6 people still watching. Salute to y'all.
Cool. That's cool. Like artists like that is you know, again, that goes back to me saying it's still good music out there. You said you're learning R&B. I don't know what the definition of R&B is in 2024, but there's still good music out there.
It's dead.
You know what I mean? It's still good music. There has been more black country artists before Beyonce.
Hell yeah. Mikey Guyton is amazing.
Oh, yeah. There's many country artists before Beyonce, but
it's another one too. I just found
famous.
Yeah, fuck all that.
Go ahead. Hit me with him.
I'm trying to remember. It's one I found today. She's actually fucking phenomenal. Like the way she sings, you couldn't tell it's country if you didn't listen to the instrumentation behind it, because her singing style is very R&B-ish, rhythm and blues. So I mean, I forgot her name. It begins with an S, I think. I can't remember. I'm gonna look it up right now. I'll give you the name. But yes, I don't listen particularly to I don't particularly listen to country music because it's not in my wheelhouse. It's not something that I look for. But my shout out to the Black Diamond, because he gave me Mikey Guyton. And Mikey Guyton is one of those artists that I could say, you know what? I ain't gonna lie, that's some good ass music. She does her thing.
Okay. So there's, like I said, there's good music out there. We just gotta find it. It's not promoted mainstream, but there's good music out there.
But to see, here's the thing, though.
Me in particular, that like there's good music out there. There's gonna be more good music out there.
Here's the thing, though. Finding music has become a job rather than a hobby. And not for me personally, I'm saying, but for people, most people don't want to look for music. They want music to just be given to them. And I understand why. I get it. Because nobody wants to go through all the rigmarole. I get it. But I will tell you this, though. When you find something good, and we do, word of mouth, and we always share that shit, right? We always give it to someone. Pause. I'm going to tell you, if I could find this woman's, maybe it's on TikTok. I'm looking on my Instagram. I don't see it. I think it's on my TikTok. If when you find something, ladies and gentlemen, you always go towards it. And that's the thing I don't like. Because I have these conversations with people too, especially elder people. Steve Harvey fucked up the game with these elder folks because they talk too fucking much. And it gets me angry.
Fuck Steve
Yeah,
Harvey.
I agree.
I agree. Look up Janessa Miranda. I'm gonna tell you something about her, right?
Good. I actually follow her.
That's the one I'm working right now. Huh?
Yeah.
You follow her?
Actually,
okay.
Yeah. Dark hair and everything. Yeah.
Let me tell you something dope about her, right? We're working on a project right now. This is her first project she's ever worked on. She has toured in Africa without an album. She's been doing shows like I can't even name where. Like she's always performing somewhere, but her performance presence is what draws people. Like she has a great performance presence, you know, and she don't even have an album yet. I'm working on her first album, and I'm like really honored for that. But you look her up, and you see how she performs. You just are automatically drawn to her from her performance. So just imagine when she finally does an album. That's someone you that we got to look into as far as there's still good music out there. Her circle is good music, instrument players, singers, poets, all that stuff she's into is good music. That's stuff that we got to find. We got to look for these people. I know it's not like the 90s, all that stuff where we can just hear something good on the radio. They don't play that shit no more.
Facts.
So yeah, we want a microwave. We got to find it now. It's not going to just come to us.
I can't find the girl's post, so if it come up again, maybe I sent this to somebody. It's all good, but
we know.
But yeah, finding music is tough now because, like I said, there's not a lot of people who's going to sit on their phone and just find artists. They're going to go to what they know, and that goes back to my point with talking to older people. Older people be like, I don't listen to hip hop because all y'all talk about first of all y'all talk about is killing, sex, and drug use. There's nothing else. And I'm saying that's what the mainstream gives you. Y'all made songs about fucking cheating, adultery, and all types of shit. And y'all made songs about buying a shotgun, putting on a dress, and dancing on somebody's grave. Come on now, we're gonna cut this shit out. We're gonna stop saying that this is all it is when we have, like I said, a Samaj Savage, a CF 201. We have Immortal Technique, who may not be, people may know him, but still, we have J. Cole, we have Lao Omalau. We have people who actually talk about things in their music. Now, whether it's for everybody or not, that's up to the listener and what they decide to listen to, but it is there. I agree, 100%. I'm with you on that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But once again, our music ain't good music, and there's a lot of bullshit out there too. And the reason why is because we're in the demo era of music again. That people are putting out things that are unfinished, unproduced, and unnurtured. So that's why it's interesting to see Ice Spice, because she's not nurtured. I think
Ice Spice is not produced. I think an
she's
artist
definitely not.
No. I think an artist can only be, just my opinion as a producer, I think an artist can only be an artist when it's as good as when it comes to their producer and engineer.
I agree to a extent.
Now a producer can sell an instrumental album. An artist cannot sell an acapella album. Recording on something that's not engineered.
No, you can't. No, because then that's two different things, though. Right.
All right. That's the person we need to thank. that's what we're talking about, right?
So let's give a salute and a rest in peace to Juan Super Ears, who passed away.
Oh,
because he was the engineer and producer who did great things in the community, and that's a big loss. So our hearts and prayers go out to 211 Media and Super Ears and his family.
Rest in peace to him. I was man, just a week before he passed, I was just in the studio with him and Denz from the Outsiders. We were talking about Denz was talking about doing another Outsiders album, and he welcomed me into it, which is I'm greatly appreciated to it. Mm-hmm. But we went to the hub, we saw Juan Super Ears, and we were just talking, vibing, whatever like that. A week later, like I see on Facebook, he's gone. Like I was just there.
Yeah.
So it's a crazy thing. The same thing with Deuce. Rest in peace to Deuce.
Yeah.
Let's talk about him, man. I was just in the studio. I had just left the studio while he's recording something that I did for him. As I'm on my way home, I get a call from Push Buttons like, "Yo, dude just passed away." What are you talking about? I just left. I don't know what to think. So I don't know Push Buttons to joke like that. So I'm turning around. I'm on my way back to the studio. I'm on the phone with my wife. She's telling me, "Don't go in there because you don't want to see him like that." I'm hard-headed. I'm stubborn. I go in there anyway. I see him. I don't want to go into detail like that, but rest in peace to Deuce. Rest in peace to Deuce. We did, the Comic-Con thing, which is another thing that kind of pushed me to be different. Kind of, I'm already a Comic-Con fan. I'm already a superhero fan. I all that stuff. But he kind of, I would never thought to do a whole album with comic book theme music. I did a couple of beats, but he kind of pushed me to keep doing it. So rest in peace to him. Rest in peace to Juan. Rest in peace to anybody we've lost. And as far as the music goes, it's like when you're there right before they pass, is a little more traumatizing to me personally.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been dealing with death since. We've all been dealing with death heavily since COVID. So, yeah, things happen, and that's part of the conversation of music that we don't have too much, because I remember a Jizza lyric when he said, "When somebody dies in hip hop, is devastating because we're a young culture, and people who rap are usually younger men. People who are people are dying in their 50s like they are in their 90s nowadays. That's scary.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the life expectancy has been cut so short that you're lucky to get to 60 now. Like, come on, man.
You're lucky. You're lucky.
Yes. And the Bible says it's good for a man to have 80 years. Anything over 80 is a blessing. Now we're talking about getting to 60? Yeah. Disgusting. I don't even know where to take the conversation after that. You're going to have to lead it. Go ahead, talk your shit again. Tell you how I failed the interview. Go ahead, talk your shit.
No. I want you to pause one more second. I want you to pause it one more second. I'll be right back.
All right, I got you.
No, seriously. Pause one more second. I'll be right back.
I'm right here. I'm here. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all got a double interview tonight with Stan Ipkiss, who called me out on my interview. So while he's away, commercial number 2.
Hey, Redman is in the building. You already know. Karev, what the fuck is up, bro? I ain't talked to you in a minute. You already know we got to chop it. But this is a public service announcement for everybody out there. My boy Karev has started a platform, right, on social media, especially on YouTube. And it's called Heritage Hip Hop. All right? Heritage Hip Hop. Now, that name alone stands for greatness, stands for excellence, stands for culture, stands for a way of life. Hip hop is not a form of a genre of music. It is the way of life. Celebrate with us. Tune in to Heritage Hip Hop on social media, as my boy will be introducing the world to its future favorite artists and celebrating the people that created this culture as well, including me. So, from New Jersey to around the world, we're connected. We're going to do Heritage Hip Hop. We're going to learn. We're going to celebrate hip-hop for the rest of our life. You want a good platform that's not with the BS, that's going to give you the original content? Check out Heritage Hip Hop. Karev, you already know how we get down, bro. You need me, I'm here. Check out all his social media platforms. Karev, Heritage Hip Hop. He's going to have it on Twitter. He's going to have it on IG. He's going to have it on Facebook. He's going to have it on YouTube especially. Just rock with us. You love hip-hop like I love hip-hop, you'll be a part of it. Karev, you owe me a bag of weed for this, you motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw what it is. Hey, that's my bro, and I put money in his pocket because I support, and that's what it is. Do y'all support me? You like Heritage Hip Hop? You can contribute to $ Heritage Hip Hop. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the OG Red for 2 commercials, and you got more coming as well. You know what I'm saying?
Redman's
you
another
back?
Redman's another artist that you will never hear subject to today's music.
No, and he gets a lot of flack for that too, because the Jack Boy beats freestyles, he's been getting lambasted from a lot of people of it, and a lot of people actually love it. So that goes to your expectations. Do you like it or do you not? And that's just opinion. I got you.
It is what it is. Of course, like when you don't do what everybody else do, people look at you as a witch. People, people think you differently when you're not following along the herd. So now everybody looking at you. Hey, remember how people look at you strangely because you wore a mask, and then at a time when you didn't wear a mask, people look at you different.
Yeah,
like it's all like
relative. Yeah, it's all relative.
It's a dick riding, culture or whatever like that. I don't know, but I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna wrap it up with this. I'm gonna say this. Crab, stop. You know me. You know me.
Go ahead. I'm listening. You got 2 interviews out of this one. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm quite sure it's gonna be more.
Hell yeah, you gonna interview me next time. Fuck that shit. Yeah, since we bring it, you bringing it next time. What's up?
It's you saying we. It's not we. You are the interviewer, so you didn't.
No. I think I did my job.
You are the interviewer.
You put extra energy, so instead of I'll let you go. Go ahead. That's what you said. I don't let you go. I'll let you go. Go ahead,
I didn't
man.
say you
Take
don't
it
let go. I said you don't let yourself go.
No, I don't.
You gotta come. Like I was telling you when you interview other artists or people like that, you gotta bring it to them. You are the interviewer. I don't give a shit about talking to people. I don't care. Anyway, I don't give a shit about none of that. It is what it is. I'm just saying as a producer,
right?
Well, the main topic of the conversation was as far as we don't get the respect or love as an artist does. Again, I can only speak for myself. Some artists, they'll get a hit record or a hit album or 2, and they feel like that's all they need or that's all they want, and they can do whatever. I gotta go back to me being me. You can't get something from me, and again, this is me being cocky and arrogant because that's what people think I am.
Right.
You can't come to me and get something from me and think you're gonna go elsewhere and get the same thing. I'm totally different from everybody. That's just my opinion on me being a producer and me with my music. I'm totally different from everybody, and I think I set the bar pretty high to any artist. So whenever artists come to me, I think I elevate them. I think I bring something out of them that they didn't know they had. I think I bring something out of sometimes myself that I didn't know I had. So going to the whole artist producer working together thing instead of over the internet, I always prefer working close knit with the artist. And you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that energy. You're not going to get that sound. You're not going to get that that vibe from working over the internet unless you work with your producer. So my advice to any artist is to work with their producer. Most producers, I'm gonna say most artists, because this is like third, fifth artist that's came to me and said, I work with other producers, and they don't, give me the sound that you give me. I give you freedom. I let you be who you want to be. I'm not going to try to mold you into anything. I don't know who you are. I'm vibing off of who you are. So whoever you are, that's who I want you to be on the track, and I'm going to try to bring that out with music. That's why I want to get to know you. So to artists who got these big records or whatever, and they forget about their producer, kill yourself. Let's end it with that.
Everybody dead now.
I'll take it. No. Everybody ain't dead. You don't just work with you don't work with a producer, do all this work, and then you forget about that producer in the long run. Like we made you who you. I don't say we made you who you are, but we did make you who you are. And it's like,
I agree.
Yeah, you had no choice but to agree with that, because we gave you your sound. The engineer gave you your sound, so you can't just go off and think you are who you are and not thank the producer. So keep your producer in mind, keep your engineer in mind, and always respect where you came from. And that's it for Stan Ipkiss.
We'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight on the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. I got a double interview because Stan Ipkiss was not satisfied and he had to show his ass interview. And I'm glad he did, because
all interviews.
That's what I wanted him to do. See, the thing is, everybody expects me to always lead. It's always the interviewee who brings the energy. I just bring the questions. Played perfectly into my trap. Played perfectly into my trap, and I loved it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I loved it. Thank you, everybody. Hey, Nas, the romantic. Hey, Nas, let's get him and Janessa on A&N or R&B, so we could build up. Heritage Hip Hop is good.
Definitely get her on there.
Yeah, and I mean that's what we need. I've been following her for years. I think I asked her for an interview years ago. She turned me down. So maybe we'll see something better now. I don't know. I think I met her in North Newark. I think I met her in North Newark a while ago with B, when me and B was out doing stuff together. Shout out to B. Oh, and before we go, let's give a rest in peace condolences to Miss Melinda Hill, the wife of Grumpy Old Man who passed away. They both did Save the Kids Village together, and I had the pleasure of working with them and seeing them give things out in the community. That's a big loss for the community. So we want to say, may the Most High bless Grump and their family and give them serenity, peace, and healing mercies as they're going through this time.
Grumpy, I'm going to run down on you. I don't call people. I like to run down on them and, show my condolences or whatever like that. Rest in peace to Melinda. Melinda was something else. We had a few moments with Melinda, and me and Grump get into that on a personal level.
Yeah, and most importantly, I couldn't imagine what it's like to be widowed. That's a different type of pain. I've lost both of my parents, and that's a pain that that's not something I look to share with anybody, but we all may go through it. Unfortunately, some parents bury their children. I've seen that recently. Rest in peace to my man Traj. I can't remember his name right now. Everlast from North Newark, who passed away. I went to his funeral, and his mother was there. She testified about burying her baby. That's sad, man. And now I have to see a man bury his wife. And life is precious, and so is the music. And the reason why I do these interviews and the reason why I let him show off the way he does is because what y'all do as producers and rappers and stuff, podcasters, anybody talks about this culture, we're doing something historic. In Black History Month, we always talk about what people in black and white has done. What about what we've done? Because we make history too. And it's important for us not only to appreciate the life we have, but the life we give through our art, our opinions, and most importantly, our honesty about the lives that we live. So may the Most High get the glory. Stan, anything else you want to say before we walk out?
Part 3 coming soon.
He said it. So with that being said, peace, and we out.
Real hip hop. Real hip hop. We here. Real hip hop. For real.